Hello there. Today we're going to be solving decode ways. So basically, this question basically gives you a bunch of numbers, and you have to translate that into alpha. Like basically, talk about how many alphabets you can turn that into. So, for example, this is 1106, and this can be decoded into 11106, which is AA, JF, and KJF 1110.6. This is invalid if there's like a zero prior to it, and um, so only six is valid. Yeah, the way to solve this is basically dynamic programming, and the way to figure that out is if basically there's a situation where you have like two choices to make. For example, here we either take one and one separately, or just take one one. That kind of gives you like a hint that it's going to be dynamic programming. And yeah, I guess let's just get into solving it. So to start off, I'd like to just create the dynamic DP array quickly. So just gonna initialize that with 1, and I'm gonna multiply that by s length s plus 1. If I don't put that in a bracket, I'm 99% sure it's gonna complain. So that's our dynamic programming array. And yeah, the idea is we're going to start with a 1, and then basically if it comes to this point, it will check if this number is valid. If it is, that means it'll check the one before it, and then if it will check if the two numbers are valid, the two previous numbers. So we look at the number before, but because it's the first character, there's nothing there. And then we kind of do the same thing, but then we check if 11 is valid afterwards. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I guess for I in range, what do you call it? Length s. So basically, we're going to loop through all the numbers, and then basically change the DP array, and the last element should contain the value we want. Yeah, so pretty much what do we do with I? We're going to check if it's valid. So oh yeah, another thing is we're gonna add the two numbers. So the number of if this is valid, or if this small one is valid, or if this one is valid. So we're gonna do like a little num1 where I think I want to call something else. Oh yeah, I said num2. I don't know why. Equals 0. So in case we don't get if what do you call it, s dot I if is valid single, so this is going to be a character. I guess we could just turn that into, we can cast that into an int. If it's we basically set num1 to be the value of dp. I think we could get away with just doing dpi because that's 1 previously, so whatever the value of the 1 previously is. Otherwise we leave it as 0, so we do the same thing for num2, and basically we set that to 0. And if is valid double, I guess, and I guess we also, like, the one thing I've been worried about is because the first one, you remember, we didn't do double ones, so we want to start with if what do you call it, if I greater than 1, something like, or greater than 0. I guess if you have 1 greater than 0, you want to do this, and then we can just say si minus 1 to I plus 1. So that will grab let's say we're on this character, that will grab these two characters. And yeah, pretty much, if that's the case, num2 equals dp I. Whatever this num2 equals dp I might, oh no, so it's gonna be one less than, it's gonna be dp of whatever we set the one previously. And yeah, so we just have to implement those methods now, which is gonna be def is valid single, it takes in an num, and basically what we do is we wrap it in if int n, if int n, so the character you get is greater than 0, because if it is 0, and int n less than 10. I think this part is not necessary, but I gotta do it because it shouldn't be possible for you to send more than one character. Return true, else return false. And yeah, we just want to do if it's valid double, also takes in n. So this one is gonna be a very similar thing, but we kind of just changed the numbers that we check. So yeah, this is gonna be if it's greater than 9 and if it's less than 27. That'll be valid double. Yeah, and if that's the case, we return true and also return false, and at the very end we set dp position I think. Trying to remember if it's dpi plus 1. So once we calculate the addition, we want to set the dp of position I plus 1, I think. Yeah. So if we want to set the dp of the to num1, I'm pretty sure it's that num2, and I guess afterwards we just want to return dp length s. I think plus 1. I just length dp. I was gonna do dp minus 1 or just length s. Let's just leave it like that. So I'm trying to. Alright, I'm gonna try and copy this solution. Yep. All right. So I had to solve a lot of broken stuff because the thing didn't log me in, so I had to copy and paste my solution. Anyway, but once you sort out everything, it works. And once we submit, it should also pass those other tests. And yeah, that is the way to solve decode ways. And thank you for bearing with me.